Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. McNuggets, let's get right to it.
Yeah, we have Tyvis Powell joining us, which he's going to do every week with a take. And Tyvis has to send me the take ahead of time so we can build the appropriate graphics. And I told you guys before the show started to buckle up because this take is an absolute doozy. So, Tyvis, the seatbelts are on. And the floor is yours, my friend.
Listen, so, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this Cavs trade with, James Harden back in the day. And it's so funny because, I was listening to the show yesterday and you hear Jason and McNuggets and all these guys talk about how you just don't think the Cavs are going to win the championship this year, right? You think about the Celtics and all of that and how good they're playing and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I think I got a trade that could have worked out just a tad bit better, just a tad bit. Now, hear me out. When I say this name, y'all gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but you just got to hear me out. You got to let the whole thing play out. All right, here we go. If the Cavs would have traded – Earl, don't make me laugh. This is serious. I got to lock in. If the Cavs would have traded for Jrue Holiday – instead of James Harden, I think they would have had a better chance. I really do. Jrue Holiday is a guy that plays tremendous defense. You think about a guy that's won multiple championships being the Robin. You got two guys in James Harden and Donovan Mitchell who's both been the Batmans. One of those guys got to take the back seat. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand since James Harden has gotten here, he has done wonderful things when it comes to helping our bigs play better. But Jared Allen is still going to be Jared Allen. Evan Mobley is still going to be Evan Mobley, right? I think that James Harden has put them in a better position, but if you look at the stats, it's not like their numbers is just through the roof better, in my personal opinion. I think that they are who they are. I think he's just showing that more. I think ultimately when you get a guy like a Jrue Holiday, one, he's been to the highest part of the mountain. James Harden has not. Jrue Holiday has shown up in clutch moments. I think about the time when they won it with the Bucks. He had this big time steal in these great offensive games in the finals and things like that. So to me, I think Jrue Holiday, you're going to need some defense. James Harden doesn't play that much good defense. Jrue Holiday still is putting up good numbers offensively, and he's there and he comes up in big time moments when you need it defensively. So to me, I think Jrue Holiday and Donovan Mitchell would have been a better pair.
The floor is yours, guys.
Tyvis, this is me looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see you.
You can't see it. His eyes got real small.
Yeah.
His eyes are small as Jason Lloyd's right there. Squinting at you,
Tyvis,
bro.
where did you come up with this?
We need a defensive menace. I think if you think about how can you stop Jaylen Brown and how can you stop Jason Tatum, right now your answer would be, well, we have Evan Mobley. Okay, what else do we have?
Well, the first trade was made for Keon Ellis to be a defensive menace.
That's one guy.
Right? And then part of the James Harden thinking is that, look, you're not going to be the world's greatest defensive team. So let's outscore everybody. And James Harden, the way he operates and throws lobs, he's going to maximize what Mobley and Allen can do.
You don't think Jrue Holiday does that too?
Not to the same extent, no. Matter of fact, I don't think. I know.
No, sir.
Time will tell. Y'all can poo-poo it all y'all want right now. We'll see when the playoffs come around. If we need some guys that can get some stops. Because Keon Ellis, as much as y'all talk about Keon Ellis, y'all just, when we talked about this a few weeks ago, y'all told me Keon Ellis wasn't even in the six that was going to be the ones that you play. So it's interesting now all of a sudden he is. So it's just interesting to me.
Hey, you, look at me, man.
I'm looking at you.
You know I love you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You out your damn mind.
Hey.
You done lost every marble that you done had in your collection. This deeper than Jrue Holiday. This ain't got nothing to do with Jrue Holiday.
I think I know where you going.
Just say you miss Darius Garland. Just say you feel like the Cavs did Joe Boyd wrong. Because what people don't know is
this has nothing to do with that.
Every single reason to have an issue with the Cavaliers since Darius Garland has been traded. He has critiqued this team like no other ever since this man has been traded.
Look at his
so,
face.
so why don't you just tell the people what it really is? They did your boy wrong.
No,
that's what it is.
It has nothing to do with Darius Garland at all, actually.
Nothing.
It's the
Zero.
fact,
0%.
It's the you know what it is? It's the fact that I'm not one of those guys that live in a fairy world. You know what I'm saying? I live at the reality. I look at things the way it is. I know you guys have great relationships with them over there. So it's y'all, y'all little handicap on being able to say some of the things that y'all want to say. But y'all know as well as I know that some of the stuff that I said in the chat, y'all 100% agree with what I'm saying. Y'all just won't say it publicly. And it is what it is. It's cool. I ain't got no ties to the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I support them and I root them. But to me personally, like, I can say what it is. I can say the truth. And the truth is what I said in them text messages, all of it. I won't disclose it here. But y'all know what I'm saying is 100% right.
You just pulled an Adam the Bull. Come on, Earl. You're being disingenuous right now. Just a minute, Earl. Just a minute. Just tell the people.
Hey, okay. Since we going there, hey Mike,
if Adam the Bull was here, he would agree wholeheartedly.
Hey Mike, I need my basketball brother on this one, right? So help me out here with this, bro. So our brother Tyvis Powell feels like a trade for Jrue Holiday for Darius Garland was a better deal than James Harden, who's top 75 player of all time, future Hall of Famer, has more elite traits to his game than Jrue Holiday does. He's the type of player that will make your head coach take a step back and say, you know what? I know I want to play my way, but you so damn good, we're going to play your way. Furthermore, he has done a tremendous job of getting our bigs involved. One, Jared Allen, the other, Evan Mobley. The ability to be able to sacrifice in the scoring department, to understand the need to get the bigs involved, man, it's like chef's kiss. And then they have the ability to still go out here and get you 30 whenever he good and damn well please. It's something else that can't be like measures for it. You telling me that Jrue Holiday is coming in on that type of time? That's what you telling us.
Jrue Holiday can't get you 30?
No. On a consistent basis like that?
Absolutely not.
No.
Jrue Holiday just recently had like a week where he went crazy on points.
A week,
and then on top of all
James Harden got scoring titles.
No.
Okay. This is the biggest difference of it all.
Absolutely not.
Is that you don't have nobody on our roster that has went to the championship and won. That's the biggest problem. Everybody, your best player,
Merrill.
Wait a minute, your best player that you are dependent on has not made it past the second round.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So
don't bring Donovan into this conversation. Donovan ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
It's not a Donovan thing. It's everybody. Like you don't have nobody that knows exactly what it takes to make it to the top, the highest part, and achieve that moment. Sam Merrill was a role player, and Sam Merrill is still going to have the same role on this team. We're talking about star players, a guy that we depend on night in and night out. James Harden has shown you.
So you elevated Jrue Holiday is that guy, huh?
You elevated him to a star player on a team. He was a bus rider for the. He wasn't even better. He wasn't even the third option, second option on that team. You already know who it was, right?
What option? What team you talking about?
The Bucks team.
Yes, he was.
Mike.
He was their second best player, but their third option.
There it is. By the way,
who was their second option?
Chris Middleton.
You know that.
Chris Middleton was Chris Middleton was fine, but you needed that defense.
I have used all of our powers at UCSS to get a response to this take from the most powerful person who's ever been on this show. Take a listen.
Stay off the damn weed. And they don't listen. Stupid. Sit there and stay on the weed. What's next? I don't know. Codeine, weed, alcohol. What's next? What's next?
I tell you what. It's all funny and kiki and all that. If they get knocked out these playoffs, I don't want to hear y'all come back and be like, you know what, maybe Tyus wasn't tripping.
So what happens if Jrue Holiday doesn't make the playoffs?
I don't know if Jrue Holiday is going to make the playoffs.
He's the 10th seed in the West right now. They're
I don't
playing.
think I'm not expecting Portland to do much this year. When Dame
Why?
Lillard come
They
back,
got
maybe we can talk
superstar
about
Jrue
something
Holiday.
different.
They got the man, Jrue Holiday,
got-
the dude that can get you 30.
No,
drop
no.
dimes.
See, y'all missing it. Y'all missing informing everything that I'm saying. I'm not saying Jrue Holiday is Batman. Never. I've never one time said that. I said that he has been the perfect Robin on multiple teams. And I think that's exactly what you need here. I'm not trying to take the spotlight from Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell's a great player. I'm not taking the spotlight from him. What I'm saying is you need somebody that's going to complement him perfectly. And I think that guy has to be a guy that also can play defense as well, that can take away some of those best players.
If this was the X-Men, like, Jrue Holiday is Nightcrawler. Like, he don't even make the main movies. He's not Wolverine, not even Scott Summers. He's not Cyclops.
He ain't Cyclops. He ain't none of
He's
that.
not. He definitely not Storm.
Yeah.
He is a dude that sneaks around and locks people
Let me
up.
ask you.
like,
So let me
supposedly.
ask you this, G. Let me ask you this: what would Donovan Mitchell be out of the X-Men?
Why you keep coming back to Donovan? Why?
I'm just asking. No, I'm just asking. He's Wolverine. So
Yep.
why is it that a guy who is not none of that got 2 rings?
Well, here's how the X-Men work. You see, they have very powerful mutants, right? They got guys that can actually do things. So we don't count on Nightcrawler to stop Magneto. Nightcrawler doesn't even get to be on the train. He doesn't make the JV team. He's like at home, like studying with Jubilee and the other mutants. He's like a lower tier. Like he's just a guy that you bring up when, like he stops petty crime. Like he's like, yeah, don't do that no more. He works with the police. Now, let's talk about this in real terms. I like what you did. I like the defense. I like what you did right there. But the reality of the situation, the problem with Jrue Holiday is some of the same problems with Darius Garland, but on opposite ends of their talent pool. Darius Garland can give you some great things offensively, liability defensively. If you got Donovan Mitchell and Jrue Holiday, and he's your Robin, if Jrue Holiday kills you, he had 23 points. If he kills you, that's if he getting all his money off.
That's if he going crazy.
That's if he
What
going
about-
crazy. He's like,
Okay,
Like,
well,
all his
2
badges
assists.
activated.
all
Let me
his
ask you this.
badges.
He on fire on 2K. He can't
You
miss.
You talking about James Harden right now? Okay, so let me ask you, what about Darius? When Darius is at his best offensive game, what can he give you?
Darius can give you 35,
Okay.
but he gonna give up 42 on the other end.
I guess how I see it though, like Todd, like would you
So
agree?
so why would you not want a guy that can lock down the best defender and then also give you 23?
So let me ask you this. I hear you when it comes to defensive side of things, but when it comes to like being a pure point guard, would you say that this is the first time in James Harden's career, or the first time in a long time, to where he has the cast around him and how this team is built out to where he's using a part of his game that he wasn't in situations like necessarily to be able to put all this on display. Like this pass first mentality, this like, orchestrator, this floor general that we're seeing from him since he's been a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers and willing to sacrifice in the scoring department to get everybody else involved. I just think that's something like that's an intangible that and something going on that we really didn't expect. And the fact that we know he can go get a bucket, like I hear you when it comes to the defensive side of things, man. But G said last week, I think 2 weeks ago, he gonna need to see James Harden get 30 a game come playoff time, and I think he has the capability to do that. Can you say Jrue Holiday could do that?
No, I don't think he can get you 30 a game. No, not at all. But I think that is interesting. I don't think that this James Harden that we've seen is the James Harden that we've been seeing for multiple years. McNuggets was the first person to tell you that he did a great job of getting bigs involved. He's been playing this point guard first mentality for a few years, even with the Clippers. So it's not something that we haven't seen. It just has not been successful when he's done it. That's my thought.
Ty, on paper, I think this takes crazy, by the way. Let me make that very clear. On paper, Jrue Holiday is a very nice backcourt complement to Donovan Mitchell. But
Thank you.
when we look at the playoff struggles the last couple of years for the Cavs, it hasn't been the defense. It's the fact they can't score. It's the fact that against Indiana in Game 2 last year, they couldn't get the ball past half court. They couldn't generate any looks when it wasn't on Donovan's shoulders. And as good as Jrue Holiday
wasn't everybody hurt last year?
Yes. And you could also say the same thing about the year before. And Jrue Holiday has a much more extensive injury history than James Harden, which is also worth pointing out. They're also just 1 year difference in age, so it's not like you're saving yourself more years in terms of the drop-off between Darius and James. But my big issue with this whole take, Ty, is when push comes to shove, the Cavs have been terrific late in games because they have put the ball in James Harden's hand and said, you are our clutch offense. Remember when he said, I'm the system, I don't play a system, the system is me? The Cavs' late game offense has been James Harden. Can you run that through Jrue Holiday, Ty? Is that possible?
No, you wouldn't run it through Jrue Holiday. You'd run it through Donovan, who is still the best player on the team, right? Last I checked, right?
Right, but on a 25 game playoff journey, you want to share the load, right? You don't want it to have to be Donovan. You want Donovan to have that blow-up game. You want him to have his moments. Obviously, you're not going to get there, but we've seen when Donovan has to do it game in and game out that there's nothing left.
Yeah, that don't work either.
Sometimes it's not always about the big basket being scored. It's about the big defensive play being made. And Jrue Holiday has done that on the biggest stage of them all in the NBA championship game.
4 years ago, before 2 knee injuries.
James Harden never been there. Neither has Donovan. Neither has Evan. Neither has Jared. I don't even think Kenny. Well, Kenny
James
has.
Harden
but
has been there.
He's been to Western Conference Finals.
No. Finals. We talking
Harden has
NBA
been to a
finals.
He's been to a
finals.
finals.
I mean, it was
Y'all
like
need,
14
yeah.
years
Oh,
ago.
and what happened in them finals? Why did the Thunder lose them finals?
James
Please,
Harden
let's
did
talk
not-
about
Because they were all like
let's talk
21 years
about it.
old. That's why they
Let's
lost those
talk-
finals.
let's talk about it.
They was all minors. These dudes are 16 years old. Come on, that was the Oklahoma City AAU Thunder.
Listen, y'all can sit there and make excuses all y'all want. All I know is the playoffs start in the month, and yeah, I better see it. I better see everything that y'all saying. I better see it. That's all I'm saying.
Tyvis, we appreciate you. That take was crazy. We look forward to hearing you next week with another take. I love how you just takes
And
over the whole
another thing,
segment.
ain't nobody wearing no cape for them Cleveland Cavaliers players, man.
Hey, listen,
What you mean?
Disingenuous.
What
he
you
said.
mean? Like if I felt that way, I'll say that way. No, we ain't wearing no cape for them.
Okay.
Hey, when somebody says okay, that's a drop the mic. Okay, it's cool. Tyvis, we appreciate you.
I know what it is. Y'all can sit there and act like that all y'all want. I know what it is. Like, y'all can sit there and play like y'all gonna say whatever y'all want. No, y'all not.
Tyvis, man, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon, man.
I'll see y'all later, man. I love y'all.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, though. Tyvis, he came on there and talked defense, but when we get back, let me just tell you this. There is something very strange, and I think it's going to happen in the playoffs. The Cleveland Cavaliers, we talked about offense, but I actually agree with Tyvis. If they don't get this aspect of their defense together, I think it might be a very quick exit for the Cavaliers. When we get back, we'll talk about that right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.